house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes. The house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house. Been practicing this good. A little bit. Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed.
That was good. I liked it.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Big Easy Bets podcast. I'm your host, Logan, and with me in the studio, Nick Von Brick.
What's up?
With us on the ones and twos, Joseph Ascani.
What it do?
This is episode 163, college football week 4, NFL week 3. Lots to dive into. Our first down week so far of the year, and it was brutal. It was a dogfight, but we made it out the other side. A lot of games this week, a lot of high-quality games, the best week of the year in college football by far. But before we get to that, Saints are 2-0. We march into Carolina, a place that we went in person a couple years ago, a game we should have won, watched us lose. So a win is a win. How would you grade the Saints' performance week 2?
The defense is one of the best in the league.
Yeah, I mean, really, should have 0 touchdowns allowed to the first 2 games. Garbage time touchdown. Marshawn Lattimore, one of the best corners in the game, top 3. I mean, you could make a serious argument. Who's the best corner in football right now?
Lattimore.
I mean, really, who else?
Right now?
Yeah.
Lattimore.
Like
Playing
Ramsey's not playing, and he's been kind of washed. I know Jair Alexander's good. I don't think he's better than Lattimore.
CD was giving Sauce problems all game.
Oh, Sauce Gardner's overrated.
Oh, yeah.
He's good, but he's not. They want him to be the
best
guy because he's in New York and he's marketable, and he's not that. He's not there yet. He's got a high ceiling. He's got a lot of room to grow, a lot of potential. He's not there yet.
Yeah.
Trayvon Diggs cannot play. I mean, he gets bit on a double move every single time. So he's very boom or bust. He's not the top corner in the league.
Xavier Howard looked good, but
Still,
I still got Lattimore over him.
Yeah, I don't think Xavier Howard's as consistent as Lattimore.
Right.
Who else? Who am I missing? I know there's more, but I mean, literally, you can make an argument. He's the best corner in the league right now. Mm-hmm. I think he's given up what? He's given up a handful of catches. He's given up less than 10 yards each game in man coverage. So, I mean, you got to tip your cap to the defense all in all as a whole. Carl Granderson making plays. The D-line, it looks good. I understand it's Carolina, tough offensive, not the best offensive line, and then rookie quarterback. But all in all, I'm impressed. I'm pleased with it. 2-0 is 2-0 no matter who you beat. It's going to be a tester, I think, going into Green Bay. On the road, we're 2-point underdogs. They don't look bad. They should have beat Atlanta. But still, they got a quarterback that we can rattle, that we can get to. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, like, what did I say? We very well could be 5-1 through our first 6 weeks. Get through one more week. If you're 2-1 without Alvin Kamara, that's a huge win. If you're 3-0, I mean, that's an A+. So, Derek Carr, I don't like that it's 2 weeks in a row that he's had a what the fuck is that throw. That was such a bad throw.
Yeah.
Like a horrible throw. I don't really get where that's coming from. Drew would throw one into double coverage with a safety over the top every now and then. He's throwing them into like, oh, there's a safety underneath, over top, and the corner's right on his hip. It's like there's no chance that that's going to get there. I don't know what he's doing, but that's 2 weeks in a row. You've essentially iced the game with a deep ball. So he can throw the shit out of a deep ball on the money. Shaheed's a problem. We have weapons. When Kamara comes back, I've been saying it like a broken record. It's gonna make life so much easier. Kendre Miller might come back and play. We're gonna need him to because Jamal Williams pulled his hamstring. I don't know. I'm feeling good though. I got high hopes. That defense is gonna keep you in games all year.
Yeah.
All year, no matter who you're playing. That defense will keep you in games.
Yeah.
So stop what you're doing right now. Hit the subscribe button if you're listening on YouTube, Big Easy Bets TV. If you're listening, if you're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, it doesn't matter. Hit subscribe. Notoriously or historically, there's no better time to listen to us after a bad week. We typically bounce back in a big way. I have a lot of plays this week. A lot. I like the board quite a bit. I'm talking maybe 10 plays in college football. TBD on the NFL. So we're sending shots this week. Oh, I saw the weirdest shit. I wrote it down. I figured I'd mention it. A raccoon got hit right outside the neighborhood, like mutilated. Horrible hit. Died instantly. The people in the neighborhood, it was right by the entrance. The people in the neighborhood went out and put a tombstone, like a makeshift tombstone, and something that they typed up on like Microsoft Word. It said R.I.P. Mr. Raccoon. Like, what the fuck are we doing, dude? This raccoon just died a horrific death. Well, really, he probably died immediately, but got destroyed by a sedan. And these people, like, did you do it with your kids? Like, were you like, oh, look at the raccoon, let's go make a tombstone.
Yeah, let's go do a funeral.
Yeah, like what? Dude, and then somebody must have been like, the raccoon was gone within a couple hours. So somebody must have been like, no way. Like, they disrespected the raccoon. But it was weird. I don't under that or
They didn't even bury it?
No, it's in the street getting rolled over. Like, but it's like it's like just barely in the street, so like its legs getting rolled over. Mm-hmm. But the bulk of everything, I mean, inside's everywhere. Insides or outside, and that's never good. Like, they had to go stand right next to this rotting raccoon and like put the tombstone in the ground. Like, what are we doing? I just want to know who did it. Did you have kids? Was it just a random like man? Like, who's doing this? But it's like, you got to be messed up in the head no matter which way you go about it. I got a bone to pick with this whole neighborhood, man. The homeowners association, Ray at the homeowners association, dude. I've had it with Ray. I really have.
He's still on the shit right now?
0.0% chance Ray listens to this podcast, but if he did, fuck you, Ray. I can't stand that dude. No, dude, I don't like having neighbors. I don't like anything about neighborhood living. I don't. I really don't. They want you to cut the grass. It's like, shut up. They leave you letters. Hey, you got to pay a fine. They fine you. Dude, don't get me started. Yeah, if you don't have a homeowners association that you got to deal with, you're blessed. So, what else? Colorado's double overtime win. Did you stay up for it? No shot.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
You were
I was
up,
at the
but you
bar.
weren't watching. Yeah.
Yeah, it was on the TV.
Oh, you couldn't see.
I said, hang on, I can't leave yet. I gotta see what happens.
That was the Colorado thing's interesting because you think it's good or bad for football?
Good.
I think it's incredibly good. It's weird that people are picking the side that it's bad. Like, I've bet against Colorado a lot this year. That's not because I'm like anti-Dion. I think Dion's awesome. I think that I thought they were in over their head. But it's not bad. It was the most watched game, I think, maybe ever for a regular season game.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It was like 10 million viewers. Yeah. It was more than double the second place, which was like Georgia, South Carolina. Dion has taken a 1-11 Colorado team, and them versus a notoriously shitty Colorado State team is the most watched regular season football game. You got Offset, you've got The Rock, you've got a laundry list of people on the sidelines. Like
Lil Wayne.
Wayne doing performances, pregame and halftime performances. It's crazy. It's good all around. You're getting eyeballs on the sport. It's good for the program, first and foremost, but it's also good for Dion. Don't get it twisted. Like, he knows what he's doing. He's going to get a better opportunity if he wants it. But I feel like it's a lot of like the Gran Torino, like, get off my lawn, old men, like, no, this is bad. It's not bad for the sport at all. With that being said, what are your thoughts on the field storm? Pro or yay or nay?
I mean, that game wasn't supposed to be close.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They were 24-point favorites. Mm-hmm. You're storming against Colorado State. I don't have a problem with it, like, in the sense of, like, I'm not like, oh, you shouldn't. It's just kind of like, if y'all think y'all are good now, y'all are a ranked team, act like you've been here before. Y'all were supposed to dominate that team. Georgia didn't storm the field against South Carolina. They might even been on the road. I'm just giving you a hypothetical. Like, Alabama isn't storming the field against UCF, USF, whatever. It was weird. I don't know. They were supposed to dominate that game. And Colorado State should have won. They definitely should have won.
Oh, yeah.
So I am impressed with Shedeur Sanders, though.
Me too.
Very impressed. It is a testament, like you said. It's kind of like Arch Manning with growing up in the Manning family. I'm interested to see Drew Brees' kids. Like, is it going to carry over there? Tom Brady's got a kid who's going to. It's like all of the elite quarterbacks of our era have kids coming up. So there is something to be said when you have grown up in that spotlight and you've grown up with somebody who did it at the ultimate highest level. Deion's recognized as the greatest cornerback of all time, played 2 different sports, played both ways on the field, made a name for himself being flashy and backing it up, talking the talk and walking the walk. It's like, yeah, he's been programmed from birth to be able to handle those situations. And you can see it. He does not really put the ball up for grabs. The line will break down and the defensive line's faster than where he's been playing at Jackson State and stuff like that. Like, maybe he doesn't look as athletically superior as he did against these other guys, but it's like he doesn't panic. Mm-hmm. And that's like one of the main things, because at the next level, you'll be around people that can block well and superstar athletes that you can get the ball out to quick. But he seems to be able to process things pretty quickly and not panic in the moment, and he's pretty safe with the football. So he's checked a lot he's impressed me a lot. So what else before we get into the recap? Anything? What's going on?
The hit on Hunter. That was
Yeah.
a big deal.
Yeah. Okay, we can talk about it.
I mean, he's going to be out.
Yeah, lacerated his spleen. I'm pretty sure that's what I read. Definitely a late hit.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly a late hit. Somebody was trying to argue it. Maybe Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark's an idiot. I'm still blocked on my personal Twitter. I'm blocked from Ryan Clark. The ball had hit the ground and bounced away, and you could tell he like went around his guy and was like he knew what he was doing. With that being said, he does not need death threats. That's crazy. It's like, come on. I'm glad Deion came out and said, no, what are we doing? We're not doing death threats. We're not doing any of that. Travis Hunter even came out and said it. But it was undoubtedly he was headhunting him, and it was a late hit. It was one of the latest hits I've seen.
Yeah.
The ball bounced and was rolling. You knew what he was doing right away. I did like Shedeur Sanders went and got up in his face. He headbutted the shit out of him too, and the dude was not ready for it. They did the slow-mo replay, like they were face to face, and he went bop, and the dude's like his eyes like went back, like he was not prepared for it. Yeah, I mean, we're pretty much in a unanimous agreement that it was late.
Yeah.
You would say so?
I didn't see it.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody at my work said they thought it was clean though, and not clean, but like it wasn't a late hit, is what.
Oh no, it for sure was.
No, it was
Really?
the latest hit I've seen.
I
Yeah,
really didn't see it. I tuned into that halfway through the third quarter. I think it had already happened by then.
But then Shedeur poked one of the players in the eye.
Yeah, you saw
What
that?
was that?
Taking a page out of Fountain Blue High School's book. Let's see. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up. If it doesn't pop up right away, then I ain't gonna do it. No, it was undoubtedly it was a late hit for sure. Yeah. It wasn't even close. I'm gonna see if we can. I really hope this isn't just Deion talking about it, and it is, of course, man. This might be it. Yeah. Just so you can see it.
I see it. Where was he at?
What do you mean?
I gotta see his feet.
Well, watch the ball hit the ground.
Oh yeah.
The ball hit the ground while he was
yeah.
like still 3-4 yards away.
Clearly uncatchable. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean that sucks because you want to see the best players on the field, and he's one of them, possibly the best player in the country. So, I don't know. They probably should have lost that game against Colorado. I said Colorado State's not a bad team.
Yeah.
I looked into them quite a bit in the offseason, and so yeah, I don't know. It was a dog fight of a week. We started off really, really well, and then you unintentionally jinxed us. You said we were rolling, and rolling we were. But then it just came. I mean, realistically, college football, it wasn't a good week combined altogether, but it wasn't a horrible week. We got more shit canned than the NFL than anything. But so we'll go through the college football recap. So Saturday I had Penn State minus 14. It was a little lucky to get this number, but Penn State's the real deal. They really are. They can run the ball very well. Aller played. It was worrisome. Illinois' defense played better than expected, I guess. Aller, for the most part, he's a smart quarterback, but he was struggling to kind of move the chains. His completion percentage was not good, but they were able to kind of have their way on the ground. The backup came in and was running all over Illinois. It helped that Altmaier threw 4 interceptions. So realistically, they should have covered this number easily. So in the grand scheme of things, when you look at it that way, Illinois' defense played really well.
Yeah.
They only held them to 383 yards of offense. They had 5 total turnovers. I mean, I'll take the win where I can get it, especially last week. So then LSU minus 9, this was your lock of the week. This was easy money. It really was. We both obviously felt really good about this. I should have made it my lock. You did make it yours. I was considering it. Never in doubt. I think we were up 21-0 in the blink of an eye. Maybe 17-0, something like that. I think it was 17 because we were up. We could have always gauge it by, can I afford the other team to score a touchdown and still be over the number? That's when I feel good. And it was just, they had no answer for the pass rush. Rodgers was getting ransacked back there. So easy cover for LSU, a dominant win. I wish I wouldn't have added Alabama with you. I was obviously considering it when you said you were on it. I was like, all right, I'll do it. They stink. They stink. The weather did not help.
Man.
Buckner fucking sucks. I don't understand why they felt like Buckner was going to be good. In our defense, I don't know if you knew, I didn't know Buckner was going to be the starting quarterback.
I mean, I didn't know when he.
They didn't announce it till 2 days after we put this episode out.
Yeah.
So I thought Milroe was still going to be the quarterback because he didn't play horrible against Texas. He did in the beginning, but the deep ball was a dime. His legs give you an extra way to attack the defense. You're playing USF. I didn't think that they were going to bench him like that.
Mm-hmm.
So in our defense, I didn't know we were going to shitbag Tyler Buckner, who is horrible. They're going back to Milroe now.
Yeah.
So we'll have
Not
to
surprising.
well, yeah.
Simpson sucks too.
He didn't look good. They had high hopes for that dude. So Alabama minus 32, horrible pick. Now we can get into, well, let's get Louisiana Tech out of the way. I was wrong about Louisiana Tech. They suck. Bachmeier is trash. Bachmeier sucks. He's dead. The Hank Bachmeier we used to know and love is gone. He is never coming back. So the sooner we accept that, the better. They made it a game, as crazy as that is. They only lost by 3. At one point, they were down a lot. They could not stop the run for a second. It was so frustrating. They allowed North Texas to rush for 249 yards, over 5 yards a carry. 11 of 18 on third down, 2 of 2 on fourth down, 562 yards of total offense. It was so frustrating to watch. And to be honest, I think Bachmeier, I don't know if he got banged up or if they just benched him, but his career's done. I think his career's done because this other dude came in and they were able to Bachmeier did have 2 touchdowns, but it was kind of fluky. Jack Turner came in 9 of 13, 145 yards and a touchdown. I'm going with him going forward. Mm-hmm. Hank Bachmeier he holds on to the ball too long. I could go down and I can go on and on down the list, but I thought that they were going to establish the run on this team. Tyre Shelton had 16 carries, 152 yards, 9.5 yards per carry, and he had a touchdown. One of them got hurt. It might have been Shelton. But Smoke Harris is dynamic. He was the guy I talked about. 4 catches, 77 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's like a fat Tyreek Hill. It's really, really impressive how fast and shifty he is. But yeah, so they nearly sent this game to overtime, and we could have got lucky as all get out. But we didn't. So LA Tech -4 is a loser. And then my lock of the week, Oregon State -24. This one was another really frustrating game. I didn't think San Diego State was going to be able to have much success offensively, and they weren't, and they didn't. This really came down to DJ Ungalele. A lot of those accuracy issues that showed itself at Clemson, they showed itself in this game. San Diego State did a good job of stopping the run and forcing them into 3rd and 5+, and Ungalele was just unable to make the throws. He was off on multiple. The touchdown that he had, it was like a wide receiver screen that the wide receiver just took to the house because he's fast. They were undersized at wide receiver. All of them are like 5'8". San Diego State has big corners. They have one guy who's like 6'2", 6'3", and he was staying with them stride for stride. Like, they're throwing it deep. I'm like thinking he's got to be able to get, because I see him up there, I'm watching him, and then they go off the screen, obviously.
Yeah.
And he throws it. So I'm like, he's got to burn him. He's the short, fast guy. He's got to be burning. He's on his hip, making incredible plays all game. It was a tough one. Oregon State wins 26-9. San Diego State, I mean, like I said, do they find the end zone twice? I don't think so. They didn't. Oregon State did have the ball at the end. If they go down and score a touchdown, then we're sitting on the number, and we would have took a push, but we didn't get it. San Diego State was able to put drives together. First downs, it was 18-20 in favor of Oregon State. Yeah, Ungalele threw 2 interceptions. The shitbag announcer, dude, he's like, oh, he hasn't turned it over all game. I'm like, God damn it. And Lindsay's sitting next to me. She's like, what? He threw a pick the next play, I swear to God. Like, this stupid asshole. They're like, oh, I didn't jinx him. I'm like, dude, I hope you get fired. I hope your whole family goes hungry. So just a frustrating weekend overall. 2-3. Brings me to 9-10, 1-3 in my locks of the week. I got to pick it up in the locks. Without question. You also went 2-3. We were on similar games.
Yeah, LSU was the lock. Neighbors. Come on.
Dude, what did he have, 10 catches in the first half?
Yeah, that was incredible. And then we went to Alabama, obviously. I wasn't that concerned that Buckner was going to be starting once I found out, but I don't know if Milroe was starting, if they would have covered this number either. They just played they played bad.
The weather didn't help.
Yeah.
I mean, they only let...
I mean, the yards were pretty close. Like, when you look at the yards margin, they're pretty close.
Yeah, and somehow USF only scored, 3 points?
Yeah.
17 points for Alabama, dude. What are we doing?
Terrible on third down. Yeah, Alabama, they're saying this could be the end of Saban.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Could Lane Kiffin put the nail in the coffin?
I don't know.
Dude, that's an interesting one. I hate those big spread games, though, because you know right away if you got it or not.
Uh-huh.
You find out in that first quarter. You need to be up 14 points in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And when it's 3-0 or whatever the hell it was, it's like, oh, dude, it's just so frustrating, because then you're like hoping, like, maybe we get a pick 6, maybe we get a quick score, like, because USF is trash.
Yeah.
Like, you're expecting, like, okay, something's going to happen, and it just doesn't. And you're still watching because you can't help it, and it's fucking annoying.
Minnesota plus 7.5. North Carolina gets a ball first. They end up, I think, converting a 4th down and end up scoring a touchdown. Minnesota gets the ball. They're driving. They have the ball in opponent territory, maybe even in the red zone, and then it's an interception. A bad throw kind of gets tipped, turns into an interception, and after that it was like Minnesota really couldn't do much on offense in this game, and defensively they were playing pretty good, but Drake May just makes plays on third down. He's going to convert if you give him time. So that's what happened there. I think North Carolina ended up winning this game pretty comfortably. Troy -2. This game was a close game. Troy ended up losing by 2, 16-14. I was also on the under, so we cashed on that. But Troy had more first downs than James Madison. They had more yards than James Madison, but they weren't able to win the game.
No, and that kind of sums up how this week went. Which Joseph had another good week, which I'll let you recap yours in just a moment. But yeah, that's kind of how it felt this whole week. Which, granted, if 2-3s, it feels worse than it is.
Yeah,
it feels worse than it is. So that's good. That's a good problem to have. I still feel like I like a lot of the games that I'm looking at, and I feel good about them. It just felt like it felt like we were right there on a few. And it's so funny how, like, even in the NFL, it so easily could be a much different weekend. Like, a couple plays, a handful of plays, and you could have a completely different weekend. So the sky hadn't fallen, but it definitely felt like it. I ate a fucking whole pack of Oreos. I'm serious. I really did. Lindsay went and got them, and I looked at her. I was like, dude, what are you doing? And she's like, what? I was like, figure out how many you want tonight, because they're not going to be here tomorrow. And she's like, what? I ate them all. She ate like 4. I ate them all. Double stuff, family size. Serious. No, dude, it was bad. It was bad. I'm not proud of it. But
Double stuff, family size, huh?
Yeah. I haven't had milk. I haven't had real milk in forever. She got milk. I'm just fucking downing glasses of milk. I'm like, dude, I'm going off the rails. The problem is I have a bad week and I eat to make myself feel better. And then when I have a good week, I eat to celebrate.
Yeah.
So it's not good. All right, Joseph, you went 2-1 again?
Yes. I thought it should have been 3-0, but you know how this shit goes.
Are you complaining? After
well-
going 2-1?
Did you watch the game I lost?
Yeah, I did. I watch every game.
Well, come on, you would be too.
Yeah.
What? You definitely would be complaining.
I mean,
We were right there,
Yeah.
like twice. Yeah.
I mean, you were right there a lot. Purdue turned it
the
over
whole game.
in the opponent's territory like 4 times.
Right. Yeah. We'll touch on that one. That was my lock. That was the only one I lost. The Syracuse Purdue over. Entertaining game. I like what I saw out of Schrader at Syracuse. Like I said, I just didn't see Hudson Card being a shitbag and this offense turning the ball over as much as they did.
Yeah, I think it was less of him being a shitbag. I think it was more of sack fumbles and just untimely turnovers.
Yeah.
They could have had a lot more points on the board than they did.
Yeah, the whole team's accountable for sure, but I thought Card would be a little bit better that game. And then I had Missouri +5. That was a good call. They just came up with some timely stops, and then what a kick to end the game. That was incredible. You never see college kickers win games on 61-yard field goals.
Oh yeah,
That was
that
awesome.
That was the 87% body fat kid.
Yeah, that's a big
Was that?
dude. Yes. Yeah. He did, and he railed it too.
Damn.
I mean, he railed it. That was a good game to watch.
Can't make a 15-yard field goal.
Right. It was awesome. And then Fresno State, I didn't even know. I don't think they came out with it until the game. I didn't even know Rashada was out.
Pissed me off.
But that was huge. So
I've been trying to watch every game.
They won handedly.
I was, as soon as they said that dude was out.
Well, the thing with Rashada is they've been saying that it's Pine, right?
Yeah.
He's supposed.
Well, he came in as a third string.
I don't know if he just dressed out and was somewhat injured, but they've been saying that he's supposed to be the starter, and
I don't
this
know
season,
why.
he's been injured.
He's been injured this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
And that Rashad, because they were talking about it in the Oklahoma State game that maybe Rashada doesn't play once Pine is
Fully
healthy.
healthy.
Well, I guess he wasn't fully healthy
No, he
because they went to the third string.
Correct.
well, I think, however it plays out, I think it worked out best for him. I don't know how serious Rashada's injury is, but if you do end up redshirting him, he got some experience, and then now you kind of just let him get the extra year.
Yeah.
And
Oh, man. The line didn't do him any favors. Right when he came in, he was getting mauled.
who, Pine?
Yeah.
Yeah, he stinks, though.
He was getting mauled when it was sack fumble on the first play. I think he came in.
Tommy Reese and Brian Kelly went out there and recruited a quarterback room with Tyler Buckner and Drew Pine and Jack Cohn. My God,
Hey,
dude.
Cone was a beast.
And Saban said, Tommy Reese, come on down to the SEC. Yeah, paying the price. So you go 2-1. What's your overall?
It is 9-3, and in my locks 2-2.
Okay. All right. So we will turn our attention to, I would say, the best week without question so far. I know it's a young season. Are you on any Friday games?
No, I'm on Thursday.
Thursday?
Yeah.
Wow. Go ahead.
Georgia State at Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina is 6.5 point favorites. It's kind of tough to gauge how good these two teams are. Obviously, Coastal Carolina's without Jamie Chadwell, their longtime coach, that kind of brought them into prominence. In Georgia State, they haven't really played anyone top-notch yet. So on offense, Georgia State's averaging 6.7 yards per play, 24th in the country. It's clear that the offense is good. They've been getting better every year with Granger at quarterback. On defense is where it's kind of we get conflicting data. Against FCS Rhode Island, they allowed 520 yards. I bet against them the next week. I'm expecting this defense to be pretty bad, but against UConn, they only give up under 400 yards, 300-something yards, and then the next week they also give up 356 yards to Charlotte. So it seems like the defense has improved. I mean, you're playing against Rhode Island, you give up 500 yards, you're expecting that trend to kind of continue once the competition gets tougher, but it doesn't. The defense seems to be buckled down a little bit. Even though that's the case, you still got to have a little bit of concerns here. Coastal Carolina, they still have Grayson McCall. They're still really good on third down defensively. I don't think their struggles are fixed either from a year ago. I think Georgia State's offense is good enough to keep this game close, and even though I agree with them getting a win here, I'm also going to double dip. I'm going with the over. So I'm going Georgia State plus 6.5 and the over 62.5.
For what it's worth, I was very close to pulling the trigger on Georgia State because they still got Granger.
Yeah.
Dude's been there forever. I'm not going to do it, and I'm not going to tail it just because I'm not
tailing my bet again.
No, not for that reason. Not for that reason, but obviously it didn't stick out enough to me to pull the trigger on it, so.
Yeah, and honestly, this game could go to 7. I don't think it's going to go any lower. I mean,
that's the side I would be
I
on.
still think Georgia State's kind of being overlooked here. I saw the offense against UConn. They're very good.
Yeah.
The best I've ever seen them.
I like it. All right. I have a Friday game. I tweeted it out because I was worried that the line was going to move, and it did just that. So if you're not following the Big Easy Bets page on Twitter, you could have got a better number on this game. Wisconsin versus Purdue. We just talked about Purdue. I did not think Hudson Card played bad. He was 32 of 46, 323 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. I'm impressed with Purdue after watching them against Fresno, and just honestly overall just the ability of Hudson Card. We watched him in his early years. I didn't think he was that good. He's definitely gotten better. Kind of sneaky, has the ability to scramble. He's pretty quick, much quicker than I thought. The problem is the turnovers. 3 lost fumbles, 1 interception, but 3 lost fumbles. Odds are you're not going to fumble it that much. They need to have better ball security, obviously. They were deep in Syracuse territory. It could have been a very different game. The secondary is not bad. They held Syracuse to 184 yards passing. The problem was, but it's misleading, is the rushing yards. Syracuse had 271 rushing yards, but Schrader had 195 and 4 touchdowns, the quarterback for Syracuse. You don't really have to worry about that with Tanner Mordecai for Wisconsin. I don't think Wisconsin's good. I'm low on Wisconsin this year. I think Purdue getting a full touchdown on their home field. The place is going to be going crazy. I'm taking the Boilermakers. They got to clean up the penalties. They got to clean up the turnovers. I think Hudson Card's ability to actually be mobile in this one could extend a lot of drives. It just feels like too many. So I'm taking Purdue plus 7. I'm low on Wisconsin. They haven't looked good really in any game. Mm-hmm. So are either one of y'all on this? You said you're not on Friday games. Are you?
Yeah, no. I am.
What are you taking?
The same side.
Okay.
Yeah. I agree with everything you just said, and I think the penalties were a problem as well. They had 11 penalties for 127 yards, so I think this is a good spot for Walters to clean this game up, have his guys ready to keep the game close. And this just happened with Wisconsin. They beat Buffalo 38-17 to start out the season, and then they go to play Wazoo. Mm-hmm. They go to Washington State on the road as 5-point favorites.
Yeah.
And they got beat outright, 31-22.
Yeah.
So I think we could see a little bit of a repeat. I mean, granted, Wazoo I think is a little bit better than Purdue.
Yeah, I would say so.
It still feels like too many points at home. I think it's a little misleading of a line.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
Purdue played a really tough game with a good Fresno State team.
Right.
And which the jury's still out a little bit on how good that Fresno State team is, but they can put points on the board.
Right.
Then they went to Virginia Tech and got a win. And then you play Syracuse. I'm telling you, that game, it's 35-20. They lose by 15. They had 4 turnovers, 3 fumbles, and the interception was off the hands of the receiver, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. 3 fumbles, though, deep in the opponent's territory. They very well could have won this game.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, and a called back touchdown,
Yeah.
with time left a little bit.
so they're not bad at stopping the run. They just got gashed by Schrader, a mobile quarterback. You don't really have to worry about that. Like I said, with Tanner Mordecai, stop the run. Don't let Wisconsin's offensive line bully you in the trenches, and then make Mordecai beat you. He's looked underwhelming this year. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what side would you lean?
Probably Purdue.
That place is going to be going crazy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Night game, well, 6 p.m., but it'll be night when it comes down to the nitty-gritty. So, yeah. Granted, I tweeted it out and got it at so yeah, what number do you have?
Well, today it was when I wrote this down, you could see I had it at 7 as well, but today it's at 5.5.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
but I mean, I bet it at 7.
yeah.
There's probably still 6 available.
Yeah, there is.
Okay.
Yeah. I do have another Friday game too.
Yeah, there were a couple. Of
Do you
good
have
ones
another
on
one?
Friday?
No, you have none on Friday.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I am going to go to Air Force and San Jose State. This one comes down to the play of Chevin Cordero. Obviously, we saw him against USC. We've seen Cordero quite a bit over the course of his career since we've been doing this podcast. He's impressed me. 783 yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. Can San Jose stop the run? Air Force Service Academy, they're going to want to run it down their throat. Utah State couldn't. Cordero's ability to put points on the board could get Air Force in that position where the game plan for Air Force kind of becomes obsolete a little bit. If San Jose can score quick, get a stop, score quick again, now all of a sudden Air Force can't really just sit on the ball, take the air out of it, which is exactly what they did against Utah State. They were up 22-0 in the blink of an eye, and then that's all she wrote. They're just going to play their style, and you got pretty much no chance of getting back into it. If you look at, San Jose State had to play Oregon State and USC, 2 of the top teams in the Pac-12, if not the 2 top teams. So you can't just look at records here. Air Force has played Utah State, Sam Houston State, and Robert Morris. They haven't been tested. You got San Jose State at home, all 30,000 fans, only half will show up. The place is going to be going crazy. Sell out, stop the run. Cordero, lead us to victory. I'm taking San Jose State plus 3.5. What is your next one? Going to Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay.
2:30 on ABC, number 19th ranked Colorado going against number 10 Oregon. Oregon is 21-point favorites. I haven't bet on or against Colorado yet this year. That is going to change today. Clearly, there's a
Buffaloes.
substantial mismatch at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. Oregon's bigger, stronger, and just better. In the trenches, I love everything that Deion's doing over there, but this is really Colorado's first test. Obviously, TCU isn't as good as everybody thought they would be, and it's coming on the road in a hostile environment against a top 10 team. Colorado has an explosive offense, but its defense is equally as bad as its offense is good when it comes to explosive plays. Colorado's offense still struggles on standard down. Shedeur Sanders holds on to the ball far too long. I think Oregon's going to be able to run the ball. Bo Nix will have success. It kind of worries me a little bit because Oregon's a little bit susceptible to explosive plays in a passing game on defense. I'm going to take Oregon first half minus 11.5, and then I'm also just going to take them for the full game too.
Okay.
Minus 21.
Aggressive.
I was waiting for the butt while you're taking Colorado. No, I'm kidding. I'm on Oregon too. I'm going back to it. I gotta get them once. I have. What do you have the full game at?
21.
Okay. I'll take 21. I got 20.5. I'll take 21. The Cinderella story's over. Their best player's hurt. Travis Hunter's out. Shedeur Sanders is a guy. I do agree he does hold on to the ball too long. I do like that he doesn't just throw it up for grabs typically. We've talked about how much he's impressed us, but this is a step up in competition, a tremendous step up in competition. And the problem with this team is they're very top heavy. They have guys at key positions, but they don't have the depth. Travis Hunter's out a few weeks. Their starting center is banged up. He didn't play last week. It's yet to be heard on if he's going to play this week or not. And like we said, they were supposed to beat that Colorado State team by 24 points. If Oregon goes 3 and out more than one time, I literally wrote this down, I think it's a failure offensively. I don't think that they should be able to be stopped at all. Really. This Colorado defense is bad. It's not good. We've seen it against everybody they played, with the exception of Jeff Sims just dropping the snap. That's the only way they can get a stop, is if the quarterback just has a stroke. So Oregon should be able to win this game by however much they want.
Yeah.
So I'm taking Oregon minus 21. The clock's striking midnight, and tip your cap to Dion, but it's over. Joseph, what's your Saturday game?
First, I am going to Florida State at Clemson. Florida State struggled a little bit this past week, barely squeaking out a victory over Boston College, 31-29. And I understand I'm going against a home dog here, but I just think Florida State is the better team, straight up. I'm taking Travis over Klubnik any day. I think people are maybe going to overreact a bit to the close win that Florida State just had and the struggles that they had. I understand it'll be a tough environment. But I like Jordan Travis to have success against Clemson, similar to how Riley Leonard did. Only difference is Riley Leonard and Duke were at home. Travis can get it done with his legs as well. And yeah, I'm just going to take the better team here. Florida State minus 2.5.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know that people are really going to overreact. It was a classic look-ahead spot. That's the typical trap spot. Would you agree? They got Clemson on deck, playing Boston College, who didn't play bad. I'm on this game as well, but I'm on the over. I think that it's now or never for Cade Klubnik. If he goes out and he shits the bed this game, you're talking about Saban and that regime, the Clemson regime's done.
Yeah.
I like Shipley a lot. I think they don't have a dominant number one, but they have solid number two wide receivers all over the field. But then Florida State's got guys. We saw it firsthand. The thing is, when we were able to pressure Travis, though, he made some mistakes. So I do think this Clemson D-line is a little off-season overhyped like we've seen in years past. But same thing. They still have guys over there. So it worries me a little bit just when Travis was pressured, how willing he was to put the ball up for grabs. But with those weapons, solid running game, I'm taking the over. Dude, it says on this that there's weather in the forecast. I've looked it up 3 separate times and didn't see weather. So I'm going to fact check that. But are you on this?
No.
No. What side would you lean?
I don't know. It's a tough one. I mean, I think it's kind of like you see Clemson, the score against Duke, that's a little bit misleading in my opinion, but
Yeah.
I do think Florida State's a really good football team. I think that I expect them to win, but
Yeah.
as far as betting on them, it's a stay away. I feel like it's a little bit of a trap bet here.
Yeah, the line's grown from 1.5 to 2.5. No, so actually I wrote down we have to talk about it. I mean, right there. I put the sharp side is clearly Clemson.
Yeah.
So this is one of those, because on paper they are better. This is one of those where it just goes the way you don't think it should go. And it's like, why? Something will fucking happen. That, or I've told you, I've been seeing, I'm gun shy from this past week a little bit. So it's like I could see either way. I could see Florida State coming out and doing exactly what we told everybody in the offseason they were going to do with Jordan Travis and how good he's going to play. And we clearly thought he had good value for a Heisman bet. And they've got weapons on top of weapons. But yeah, it's like, it's almost too easy. And that's typically when, I haven't even really looked at where sharp money is or anything like that. I'd imagine it's on Clemson. So, yeah, I'm going to take the over 55 though. Looking for points. I just checked the forecast. I don't see any forecast. I don't see any weather in the forecast. So, I do think Klubnik kind of got it together, but it's like it was against shit competition. Shipley's really good. Shipley's a chain mover. He's a really good running back. Florida State, I don't know. I'm on the over. Let's see. How many total do you have?
5. I've given out 4.
Oh, you only have your lock left?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really close to pulling the trigger on 1
Jesus.
more.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then my lock. 5 left. I told you I'm sending shots this week.
Okay.
How many do you have before your lock?
2 more and then my lock.
Okay. I am going back to Penn State. I understand. I know. But dude, I'm telling you, this team is good. The defense is so good. So good. They should have covered the spread. They did cover. They should have covered it easily with those turnovers that they forced. I'm too much of a believer in this team. There is rain in the forecast, but Penn State has a stable of running backs and the 33rd ranked rushing defense. When it comes time for a QB to make a throw, I think Drew Aller will be the one to do it. I got it at -14. I don't know if you can still get it at that number or not. No. I did see a 14 today. So I'm taking Penn State -14. I understand McNamara has experience and blah, blah, blah. I'm not a believer. I'm riding this Penn State train till the wheels fall off. They're the real deal. The Big Ten is open. It's top heavy with 3 teams, but Penn State is very much in the mix, number 7 in the nation. Let's see what we can do. See if we can keep riding the wagon. Penn State -14. What's your next one, Joseph?
I'm going to Army at Syracuse. I was extremely impressed with Schrader. As I thought he'd be very good, but his running ability is just absolutely incredible. The offense can score points, and they can score in a hurry. But that's why I think Army, a team who we know, is just going to try to run it down your throat. They'll try to slow this game down as much as possible and keep the ball out of Syracuse and Schrader's hands. I was also equally as impressed with Syracuse's defense as well. They shut down all plans that Purdue had of running the ball. It's a top 20 defense overall, 14th ranked against the run, which I think will fit well here against Army and their game plan. So I don't think Army will have much success here scoring points in this game. That's why I'm going to go under 50.5.
Okay. There's a 51.5.
Under 51.5.
Good. I'm going to be honest. Which clearly I don't know shit, but thought you were about to take Syracuse. I don't like Syracuse in this spot. I think I don't have an opinion on the total. I would, at first glance, I would probably lean under. I think Schrader did look good, but can he do it again? Like, Army's definitely a disciplined team. Army has looked kind of suspect, but I feel like the service academy teams do kind of come on strong later on in the season. So yeah, I don't dislike that. Okay, this might be my squarest pick of the day. I'm worried about it. But it kind of falls into that Clemson category for me. But I could totally be wrong. Oregon State, Washington State. This is a really interesting matchup. Ongalele versus Cam Ward. This is going to be DJ's first big-time game as a Beaver. Oregon State's a much more balanced team here. Damian Martinez is one of the best running backs in the country. Where Washington pretty much solely relies on Cam Ward. Like I talked about, Oregon State has those speedy, small receivers, but they're really not that good at creating separation. I'm going to take the home team here, getting 3. I'm going to back Wazoo and Cam Ward. Washington State did a great job stopping the run against Wisconsin, held them to 91 yards, 3 yards a carry. A lot of the inaccuracies that plagued Ongalele at Clemson, like I said earlier, showed up against San Diego State. I trust Cam Ward's ability to use his legs when needed, but to keep the chains moving, They're 4th nationally in third down conversion percentage at 61%. Load up the box, stop the run, put Ongalele in situations where he's got to make a throw, and he was not able to do it against San Diego State. The crowd's going to be going crazy in Wazoo. I think it's going to be it's going to be an awesome environment. It's going to be a great game. It might be a bad pick because Oregon State is balanced, but Cam Ward's a guy. I like Cam Ward. We were watching him closely last year, and he's off to a much better start this year. So, but then just watching Ongalele, they really don't have the receivers. They have speedy guys. Like I said, they took a wide receiver screen to the house. It was just a straight line. He ran faster than the other guys. They're not that great at creating separation. And Ongalele hasn't really. I don't know. I got to see him do it. I'm taking Cam Ward in Wazoo +3 at home. You got an opinion?
I was going to take Oregon State if you were on them.
Really?
Yeah. I just think the defense, dude.
It is good.
Cam Ward's a good player.
Really good.
But I remember seeing him struggle.
I do too.
Before, so.
But this is a new year.
I mean, maybe. He's going to hold on to the ball.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it could cost
Ongalele was too, though.
Yeah, that's the big question. Is ukulele gonna fucking
I'm telling
step up?
Dude, it was that Oregon State should have covered that game. They didn't because of Ongalele. In the accuracy, they put him in third and medium, and dude, he was missing throws to the flat, like Bo Nix, the shit we despised when he was at Auburn. Simple throws, he was just missing them. But deep downfield, same thing. He wasn't able to put a ball on anybody. So, like I said, the one touchdown, I think he had one, was a wide receiver screen.
Yeah.
And, dude, they're going to be going crazy there. They got high hopes in Wazoo now. I mean, they got a lot of hype. They got a really good quarterback that can do it all. I understand the spot. That's why I said it might be the worst pick I have of the weekend. But I'm going to do it. Wazoo +3. So, y'all just have locks left, right?
I got one more into my lock.
Okay, go ahead.
Maybe beating a dead horse here. Maybe pushing my luck, but I'm going back to my Fighting Irish. I'm going to take Notre Dame +3.5 at home against Ohio State. I love being a home dog here with a hook. I think the crowd will play a huge part in this game. It's going to be electric. We all know the Fighting Irish can score points. They have a great ground game with the leading rusher in the nation, Audric Estime. Which should soften up this Ohio State defense and eventually open up the passing game for Hartman. But I like this defense as well. I know I've talked about him before, but I like Maris Lufau's impacting on the game. Number 8, that linebacker with the long hair.
Mm-hmm.
He's a ball hawk. He always seems at the right place at the right time. He tackles great. I like him in open space with these speedy receivers coming across the middle for Ohio State. I think he can come up with some big plays defensively, and I think that Notre Dame has a chance to win this game, but I do like the hook, so I'm going to take them +3.5.
All right, so you're not going to like this, but there is no hook available.
No, there was one this morning.
I bet it this morning.
As of right now or the whole day?
I
this
didn't.
Morning it was 3.5.
I don't know. I'm on Ohio State though. Yeah, I don't know, because I mean that's across all books. But yeah, I mean if you got it this morning, then you can take 3.5. But yeah, I'm on Ohio State -3. I've been saying I like Jim Knowles as DC. They've got guys on that D line. I think that they can get to Hartman, bother him. The first test that we really saw from them was NC State. And he put a lot of balls up for grabs. I still stand on. I think that that's a much closer game. They probably don't cover if there's no weather delay. And I don't like their secondary. I don't like the safeties. I don't like the safeties' ability to attack the ball when it's in the air. I think they're going to get bit on a lot of double moves. I think, obviously, Ohio State has guys, specifically Marvin Harrison. But they have quality runners themselves. The athletes, when you stack them up on the outside, clearly the advantage is Ohio State. There could be a little weather in this forecast. But if that is the case, I mean, I lean towards Ohio State's defense in this one. I think I do like the guy you mentioned, the Troy Polamalu.
Yeah.
definitely is good, flying all around the field. The secondary is where I think that they're going to get him. If the offensive line can hold up, I think there's going to be options. There's going to be. I mean, the tight end doesn't get enough credit. I'm blanking on his name, but I talked to you about Stover is a stud. Dude, what he can do in the run game as well as through the air, that's like that's an unbelievable asset. So you just add him in the mix. You've got Mayan Williams, you got Trayvon Henderson. And like I said, I watch Hartman put balls up for grabs against shittier competition. I mean, a question's going to get answered. Like I said, I'm going to be on a lot of the big games this week. Questions are going to get answered this weekend. And we'll see what happens. I'm taking Ohio State -3, though. You're not touching it?
I'm going to take Ohio State.
Really?
Yeah. I got a bunch of stats here.
Go ahead.
But it's not really organized. Ohio State's number 12 ranked in yards per play and number 2 ranked yards per play allowed. Notre Dame's also good in those categories as well. Number 6 in yards per play and number 14th in yards per play allowed. Notre Dame, what's been most impressive is their finishing drives. Well, 6 points on average per opportunity. An opportunity is when you pass the opponent's 40-yard line. So they're finishing drives with touchdowns a lot. Defensively, they're playing well, but they show some weakness against the explosive pass plays. I think that could be a problem, especially because of Ohio State's wide receivers and their playmakers at running back. Ohio State's averaging very good as well, 5.5 points per opportunity, and they're running the ball well, 3.7 line yards per rush after they kind of didn't run the ball that well in the opener. Defensively, they're very good, and they're good against the run, but the thing that concerns you with Ohio State is they're only stuffing 13% of opponents' run plays. That's the only glaring weakness so far. But the bottom line is, like you said, Ohio State, they just have better players, especially better playmakers. I think that's what it's going to come down to. So this was going to be a strong lean for me and maybe a late ab, but I'm just going to go ahead and take it now, Ohio State -3.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at NC State, like, I was on the under that game. Obviously, got screwed by the weather. They had 170 yards rushing, but they had 80 yards on one play. So you take that away. I mean, they had 4.6 yards per rush on 37 attempts. If you take away the 80-yard rush, which I understand, he still got the rush, but the amount of missed tackles on that run were sickening. But it's like if they bottle him up on that run, you subtract 80 yards, you're looking at 90 yards rushing on 36 attempts. NC State did a good job. They also turned the ball over 3 times. So 3 interceptions. I don't know. This is going to be an interesting one. This one's going to answer a lot of questions. McCord looked good in his last game. I mean, he obviously knows get the goddamn ball to Marvin Harrison, but I don't know. I don't trust the safeties. I don't trust the secondary. I think there's going to be opportunities. Is that what you were saying? You're saying who were you saying susceptible to the deep ball?
Yeah, Notre Dame gives up some explosive pass plays.
Yeah. So I don't know. We will see. A lot of questions are going to get answered here. Estime is a really good running back, but he's more that bruising running back. So if you load the box, I mean, it's going to make life difficult for him. I don't know. We'll see. So Ohio State -3. Joseph's on Notre Dame +3.5. I got one more and then my lock. Texas Tech versus West Virginia. I watched West Virginia closely this year. Saw them against Penn State. Good offensive line. Subpar quarterback play. Really good running back in Donaldson. And then I watched the entirety of the backyard brawl. Did you watch that at all?
No.
Djokovic sucks so bad. So bad, dude. I don't know what. I was reading the press clippings, I guess, with him at Boston College. A lot of people were high on him. I saw flashes. He sucks bad. Pitt could have won that game without question. I think Djokovic had 3 interceptions. I literally wrote here, he's a shitbag. And exactly what I just said is exactly what I wrote. What I wrote down. I'm taking Texas Tech -6. I think you're coming off the backyard brawl. It was a fucking dogfight of a game, an actual backyard brawl. They didn't look good. They have subpar quarterback play. If you can stop the run, then you can get one over on this team. Donaldson's a very good running back. But Texas Tech, I mean, hasn't looked horrible. They collapsed against Wyoming. I understand, but I don't think West Virginia is that good. That's what it boils down to. I was watching Penn State, which granted Texas Tech's not Penn State, I understand. Offensively, I just don't think that they're going to be able to do enough. So stop Donaldson, you pretty much stop West Virginia. So I'm going to take Texas Tech -6. Because, I mean, dude, yeah, what? The Oregon game was, they got that, they were down, Oregon was up 1, and then they got the pick 6 late. But Texas Tech had the ball with a chance to go beat Oregon.
Yeah, and then Wyoming, Wyoming just played Texas in a very competitive game.
Yeah.
Somewhat competitive.
Yeah, it looks like Wyoming's better than
people thought.
Quarters.
Yeah. So,
And Texas just opened it up on them in the fourth.
what are your thoughts on Tennessee? We talked about it.
Nah, I don't know.
I'm not going to do it, but I had a question mark by it. I think it's a spot for Tennessee. 20.5 against UTSA, and then LSU. I was very close to taking them again.
Yeah.
Arkansas didn't look good.
It's a 6 p.m. kickoff?
I believe.
What, LSU?
Yeah.
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 They didn't look good. So I didn't do it. I'm just going to stick with what I got. But all I have left is my lock.
Yeah, you got UCLA, Utah.
Yeah,
no one's messing with that.
I looked at it, but it's unproven. Is he freshman quarterback for UCLA?
Dante Moore.
Going into a crazy fucking environment. And then is Rising playing? Is he not?
Yeah.
Do you know if he is? Or are you saying, that's the question?
Yeah, that's the big question.
There's just too many unknowns there that I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Because if he's not in, they stink.
Yeah.
Offensively.
I think Utah might not be that good.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you.
Even with Rising. I mean, I don't know if they just have – I don't think they have enough playmakers on offense. So, but, yeah, the big thing is it's a freshman first true tough road test, which is the only thing keeping me away from taking UCLA.
Yeah, I wanted to.
Points.
I wanted to. But, yeah, just too many question marks there. So all we have left is the locks, correct?
Yep.
Okay. All right, here we go. Best bets of the week.
It's a lock, Kramer. You've had this thing under control for almost 3 years now. But it's a lock.
They need that fucking juice. They need that next bet. They need. Come on. Yes! When they win, they go fucking crazy.
You're a bad motherfucker. Go in that shower, grab your fucking nuts, and tell the world somebody's sniffing my fucking nutsack today. Because I ain't got time to fuck around no more.
All right, I said I got to get right in my locks of the week, and it's starting this week. Texas A&M versus Auburn. I'm getting right to it. I'm taking A&M -7.5. Auburn's 3-0. They haven't played anybody. UMass Samford, and they should have lost to Cal. They beat them 14-10. A game in which Cal turned the ball over 4 times and lost the time of... No, I'm sorry. I don't even know who turned the fucking ball over because I can never read my handwriting. I'm taking A&M. It was more of a testament of how good Miami is versus how bad A&M's defense was, in my opinion. Peyton Thorne was 9 of 14 for 94 yards against Cal. That's not going to work against this A&M defense. Yes, they got boat raced by Miami. I still think Texas A&M's going to run Auburn out of the building here. -7.5 is my lock of the week.
A&M's my lock.
No way. Yeah. Oh.
I think Texas A&M's a good football team. I was impressed by the game against Miami. You look at it, the defense struggled. They gave up 2 touchdown passes over 50 yards, 2 big explosive plays, and then they gave up a 98-yard kickoff return. It's like if you take one of those passes away in the kickoff return, it's like this game's a lot closer than the score indicates. So I think that is like one of the most misleading scores so far. It's like people think that Texas A&M isn't that good. I mean, just watching the game, watching the talent they have on offense, they're very improved on offense.
People are going to think that's planned.
No.
I told you yesterday, but I didn't tell you who. I said I love my lock.
Yeah.
But I didn't tell you who.
Oh, this was the first game I saw. It was like fucking super lock.
See, it took me a while. Like, I kept looking over it, but I told you I was looking, and then I saw it, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, and Peyton Thorne is the Auburn quarterback. Auburn sucks.
He stinks.
They suck bad. It's his first SEC matchup, and it's on the road in College Station. It's like, I got a bunch of free money. Do I have to say any more? Texas A&M. This is like the most confident I've been in a bet so far this season.
That makes
Texas
me feel
A&M
so good.
minus 7.5.
Because no, dude, I swear to God, for people listening, like we've said, when we're on the same side, mainly college football, because NFL it's very condensed. There's only certain games to pick. College football, if we're looking at a laundry list of games, 60 whatever games to pick from, the fact that we don't talk about it at all, the fact that we narrow it down and we come to the table and we go, okay, we both agree that this is our lock of the week without coordinating, that should tell you something. Peyton Thorne stinks. We saw him at Michigan State with weapons all around him. Jaden Reed for the Packers just caught 2 touchdowns last week. Keon Coleman is with Florida State. Peyton Thorne had weapons. He stinks. 9 of 14, 94 yards against Cal. They won 14-10. They got out first downs. Cal had 19 to Auburn's 12. This is their only competition, so this is the only comparison you can have, pretty much. They had 230 yards of offense. That is not going to work against A&M, and A&M's offense that looks improved. Like you talked about, the splash plays against Miami are what really hurt them, but that was the main thing I wrote down. I felt like it was more of a testament that Miami's good this year.
Yeah.
Miami's good. They have guys on offense. They're able to score points.
Oh, they have serious talent on offense. And
Yeah.
with Van Dyke playing so well. Yeah.
No, yeah. I love that. I love that. Texas A&M minus 7.5 is the lock of the week. Joseph, what is your lock?
I hate to be boring because it just seems like so boring after what y'all go through with all that hype. But I'm going to take a weird one. It's another game for me similar like last week with Missouri only being a 4.5-point dog. I'm going to go Middle Tennessee minus 2.5 over Colorado State at home. MTSU, they got blown out by Alabama in week 1. They lost, ironically, a close one to Mizzou in week 2, 23-19. And then last week they beat a shitbag of a team, Murray State. On the other side, we just saw Colorado State, who was 23?
24-point underdogs.
24-point dogs against Colorado last week. Cover, and they had a real chance to win the game in double OT. I don't know why Middle Tennessee is favored in this game. So with that reason, give me Middle Tennessee minus 2.5.
Yeah, I wouldn't take Colorado State.
It's definitely a letdown spot.
Yeah, that's like having your heart broken like that, 90 whatever it was to tie the game.
Like 98 yards.
It's like,
yeah,
that could have deflated Colorado State.
And they just left it all out. But I don't hate Norvell. He could rally the troops. But yeah, I mean, they just, with all that hype and anticipation and all the celebrities on the sideline and everything that went on in that game, you exert a lot of energy and it was a late game and now you're going to Tennessee. Yeah, I mean it'll be an interesting one for sure to see how they respond from that game. So to recap, just go down the line. Purdue +7, San Jose State +3.5, Florida State Clemson over 55.5, Oregon -21, Penn State -14, Ohio State -3, Washington State +3, Texas Tech -6, and Texas A&M -7.5. The lock of the week.
Georgia State +6.5. Georgia State Coastal Carolina over 62.5. I have Oregon first half -11.5. I have Oregon for the full game -21. I have Ohio State -3, and I have Texas A&M -7.5 as my lock of the week.
Okay.
Thursday, Wisconsin at Purdue. I'm taking Purdue +5.5. Then I'm going to go Florida State Clemson. I'm going to take Florida State -2.5. In the Army-Syracuse game, I'm going to go under 51.5. Ohio State Notre Dame +3.5. And for my lock of the week, I'm taking Middle Tennessee -2.5.
Alrighty, there you go. That is our best bets of the week for college football. We will now turn our attention to the NFL. And it was a tough one. It was a tough week for sure. We'll start with the Thursday game because it started out pretty well. Eagles-Vikings over 49. I think there was 3 points scored in the first quarter, and the next thing you know, we're soaring past the over. You and I were both on it. And that was the only good thing that happened all week.
Yeah.
Bengals -3.5. Joe Burrow aggravated his calf. Doesn't matter. The Bengals are struggling right now. They will get it going. It reminds me of when the Chiefs were struggling and they were like, what's going on? And then they fucking go on a run to the AFC Championship game.
Have y'all seen anything on that? Is there any updates? I couldn't find any.
I mean, the line hadn't really moved. I'm sure he's going to play. You talking about Bengals?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to play. I mean, last I saw, the line didn't move. So are they still?
I thought his status was up in the air.
Yeah.
Well, they were 2-point favorites. Now I see 2.5.
Okay.
So, I mean, that should definitely tell us something. But Jets +9.5. I bet I took this pick because I was relying on the Jets defense to step up and keep this game close. They didn't. The Cowboys are good. I would make the argument that the Cowboys are the best team in football. Might be a hot take. I would say the Cowboys. I don't know. You could say the Niners. I wouldn't. You could say the Chiefs. I wouldn't. I mean, who would you say best team in football right now?
I'm not ready to give the Cowboys that.
Who would you give it to? Bengals are struggling. Chiefs struggling. I get it was on the road.
I would go with the Niners still.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's the only other one that I would, I guess, consider. But, dude, Michael Parsons is so good.
Yeah.
I remember watching him walk across the stage, and it was just like on draft night, and it's like, they're going to hit on that. It's like, how do you not? You know? He was so good at Penn State. The way he plays, the way the NFL is now, it's like he's guaranteed to be good. I don't know why he didn't go higher. Hindsight's 20/20. I get it. But he was so good at Penn State, like a freak. Their defense is the real deal. They were, I get it's Zach Wilson and the Giants where they get the blocked field goal for a touchdown. And I understand. I know what I'm watching. But they are so fast, dude. They're flying around the field. But the main thing was how well they were able to move the ball on Jets defense. I was sold on the Jets defense. I thought they were going to do much better. I really did. CeeDee Lamb's good.
Yeah.
Really good. So Jets +9.5 was a loser. Browns -2.5 last night was a loser. And this was tough. This was really tough. Nick Chubb, knee gone. His knee is on the field still. So say a prayer for Nick Chubb. You might never see him run the football again. When he went out, it was tough sledding from there. Deshaun Watson might stink.
Yeah.
He might stink. That might go down as one of the worst deals of all time. And we were like, come on, baby, come to New Orleans. Suckers. Yeah, he's not good. He is panicking in the pocket. He's not elusive like he used to be. He's missing throws. He was converting some third downs. I'll give him credit in critical situations, but it was a really unfortunate game because we had the Browns -2.5. The Steelers, first play of the game, get a pick six, a funky pick six, and then they sealed the game with a scoop and score fumble. It is what it is. It sums up the week. Jaguars +3 was mine and Nick's lock of the week. And this was a good pick. If they were playing again this week, same line, same situation, I'd take Jaguars again.
Yeah.
I really would. You got to execute in the red zone. The difference between a good and an elite quarterback is red zone execution. Patrick Mahomes, every time he got down there, he's making shit happen. He's throwing fucking floater balls to Travis Kelce, and he's somehow wide open. Trevor Lawrence is throwing balls over his receiver's head out the back of the end zone, not allowing them to get their feet down. He's leading Calvin Ridley into the goddamn goal
He keeps
post.
throwing it fucking out of bounds.
Yeah. So I didn't like the play calling. You get down there, it might have been a flag. I think it was. They had 6 opportunities from the 1-yard line, couldn't punch it in. You get down there, you run a quarterback keeper, which I understand. If it's wide open, you're like, oh, what a play call. So tip your cap to the Chiefs defense for staying disciplined and going with them. It went nowhere. It was extremely frustrating because we had multiple opportunities, and then you get the Chiefs into a 3rd and 6, and Mahomes does what he seems to always do and find somebody wide open downfield as he's rolling out, and that's the nail in the coffin. You get a muff punt, you get the ball inside the 10, come away with a field goal. You go, what they have 4 red zone trips, no touchdowns? It was something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think they scored a touchdown. I could be wrong, but I know Lawrence didn't. It was so many opportunities. The defense played great. You hold them to what they have, 17 points.
Yeah.
You hold them to 17 points. You got it. You have to at least cover that game. It was really, really frustrating. It was because everything was going our way in the beginning. Everything you need to happen to beat the Chiefs was happening. So it is what it is. I said it when they drafted him. I said it when he was in college. Trevor Lawrence will not throw the ball over the middle of the field. Everything is a check down or to the sidelines.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
we'll see. 1-3 on the week for me. No, I'm sorry, 1-4. Jesus Christ, I wrote 1-3. It's 1-4. So I'm 3-6, I believe. I was, what was that, week 2? I was 2-2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm 3-6. 3-6, 1-1 in my locks of the week. You went 1-2.
Yeah, I was on the over as well. I was on.
All three.
We were on each other's bets.
Yes.
Jacksonville, I guess we'll go there. It was 17 points for the Chiefs. You told me that before the game started. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm already counting my money.
Yeah.
You know, the Chiefs' defense is playing fairly well going against the Lions, who's a decent offense, and Jacksonville, who is expected to take a step up. So the Chiefs.
No, their defense is better than advertised.
Yeah.
It's like the trendy thing to be like, oh, Chiefs have no defense, they have a great offense. But the Chiefs' defense was good in the Super Bowl. The Chiefs' defense was good last year. That was, in large part, why I put such a big bet on them in the Super Bowl. They have a much better defense than advertised.
Yeah, and then the Browns -2.5. Like you said, Nick Chubb gets hurt. Deshaun Watson makes everything look so fucking hard.
Yes.
It's like he's never just going to throw it quickly.
Yeah.
He's going to, like, fucking start running for his life and make it so hard to
He's going
throw
to slam a
completion.
defensive end down by his face mask. And then he's going to push
like,
a ref.
that's the difference. Like, Patrick Mahomes he escapes, but it's like it's easy.
Yeah.
It's like
It's
fucking
effortless.
Watson is like fucking making the receiver make such a hard catch.
Yeah, you see
It's
him.
like-
It's like you have like a knot in your stomach. You're like, oh, please,
Yeah.
Mahomes. You're like, oh, good. He has time to do something now. Watson's, like I said, throwing people down by his face mask. He's pushing a ref, fondling a fucking cheerleader, and then rolling his ankle, all in the same process. The biggest waste of money in the history of the league. It really is, dude. I was mad. I stayed up late and watched it. I had to get up for work early. I was not happy.
Yeah.
So, but this is a perfect example. So you go 1-2. You very well could have been 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
Probably should have been 3-0.
Yeah. But then I caught breaks last week with the under and the San Francisco-Pittsburgh game. I mean, that game could have easily went over with the amount of points that San Francisco scored.
Yeah.
When then the Steelers obviously chasing touchdowns there at the end. But, you know, that's how the NFL is.
Yeah.
Usually it's going to be a couple of plays that could have decided the winner against the
Pretty
spread.
much every game you could look at, you could pinpoint one play.
Mm-hmm.
Damn near. All right, Joseph, let's talk about it. How'd your weekend go?
Terrible.
How do you feel as
I understand now.
of what?
Like, I understand this whole time why y'all said y'all like betting on college football now. This is awful. I hate it.
I just think there's more opportunity to find the home runs.
Exactly.
But
no, I'm miserable.
I like betting the NFL though.
I don't.
And
Until I win
probably
one.
historically, I've been better at betting the NFL. Obviously, year one, I did spectacular in college. It's been tough sledding since.
Yeah.
NFL, I've been more consistent, I would say. So, but yeah, you had 3 plays?
Yeah.
Okay.
None of them hit.
Well, this is the
miserable.
week.
No, it's miserable.
This is the week.
I
And
had
it's-
1 year like that.
No, and it's really aggravating.
I started like my first 10 bets. I was 1-9.
No, I don't
in
like.
NFL.
Yeah, I
I
do
don't like
remember
being
that.
frustrated when I'm watching these games, and I'm just
Take your emotion out of it.
angry.
Yeah.
But not angry to where I'm throwing shit around. It's just like, just fucking shut up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
The announcers just say shit to piss you off when you're already down in the dumps.
Oh, did y'all see the Iowa State-Ohio game? There was a field goal that Iowa State kicked. It looked like it was clearly good.
It made it, and they just said no. I did watch it again, and it is close to going like over it. I definitely thought it was in, but it was like close to where it goes directly over the pole. But I think that's supposed to be in.
Yeah, well, I saw they show like, you know, they have a camera right under the goalpost with the referee right there, and they're like looking up, and it's like clearly inside the post.
Yeah.
Well, Iowa State lost 10-7. It's like if that field goal is counting good like it should have been, the game's going to overtime.
Yeah, that stinks. Whatever. That's their problem. All right, we look ahead to a bounce back college football. I mean, NFL. Every time I'm trying to write the timestamps for you motherfuckers, I swear I can't speak. I can't multitask. It's a bounce back week in the NFL. That's what it's going to be. There's just no other way. Thursday, Giants and 49ers.
It's every Thursday. I don't want to bet this shit.
Okay, well, you got to relax.
Well, I hate the Giants. I can't stand them.
Well, I'm
Especially
taking
after
them.
last week.
We talked about it a little bit before. I am going to take them. Plus 10. Plus 10.5 would be nice. This is one of those 49ers are, like you said, possibly the best team in football. Most would probably say Giants just lost their best player. They nearly lost to the worst team in football. And that's why they're going to at least cover this game.
Yeah.
Because the NFL doesn't make sense. The talent discrepancy is razor thin. This is a chance for the Giants defense to rally around the loss of Saquon. There's actually talks that he may go, but there's no way he's going to go. There's zero chance. Brock Purdy, let's see him do it. Ayuk's hurt. I'll take the Giants plus 10.
Okay.
What about you?
I'm going Giants first half, plus 7.
Jesus.
I think Giants come out here strong.
Plus
Having
7?
a game early, maybe it gets away from them at the end. I don't know.
How's it 7 in the first half?
That's just the way they make the lines. I look for little flaws in the odds makers.
Why don't I only get 3 more?
I'm sure
for the full
people,
game?
because nobody wants to lay the 10 with the 49ers, so everybody's like, all right, I'll just bet the first half. Well, they're jackasses. I'm betting Giants. Plus 7 first half.
Oh, man. All right. Well, at least we got double opportunity. I'll take the Giants plus 10. You're on Giants first half plus 7.
Yeah.
Okay. Joseph, what are you taking?
Under 44.5.
Okay.
49ers defense is very, very good. We know that. Being at home, prime Thursday night game, I don't see the Giants with or without Barkley being able to score too many points at all. On if not the best defense, one of the top 2-3 defenses in the NFL, and I can see the number being right around that spread. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the under 44.5.
Okay. I think the Giants are going to surprise us. I hope the Giants are going to surprise us. All right, we turn our attention to Sunday. How many total do you have? Going 3?
Yep.
I think I might be going 3 as well. What's your first one?
Saints at Packers.
Really?
Yeah.
No, huh? You going to do it?
Yeah.
Really?
Both these teams have below average rush offenses to start the year. Saints ranked 18th, averaging 101.5 yards per game. The Packers ranked 25th, averaging only 88 rushing yards per game. The Saints defense ranked 6th in opponents' yard per play and number 4 in points per game allowed. While both of these teams are struggling to run a ball, the Packers are struggling more. I know Jamal Williams is out. He really wasn't carrying the rock that well for us when he was healthy. So I was impressed by Tony Jones Jr. I thought he did enough. I mean, obviously running it with Hill helps. If Keandre Miller's back, that's going to be huge. I feel like just...
Why does people keep calling him that?
What's his name?
Kendre
Miller.
I heard somebody else call him Keandre today.
All right, well, it's Kendre Miller. I trust you.
I promise. You're notoriously horrible at names on the show.
The Saints have the better defense. They have more playmakers on offense. I feel like you just watch the Saints and you're like, they're almost there. Their car's almost putting it together. It's like, when is that going to happen? I'm betting it's going to happen this game.
I agree with that.
Saints plus 2.
Okay. No, I agree with that. I'm not going to do it just because it's going on the road, which we're typically we're the best road team, I think, since 2018. But back-to-back games on the road, going out east, and then now you're going up north, and you're bouncing around. Short week. I hope we beat the dog shit out of them, obviously. We certainly can. I do think our defense could give Jordan Love some trouble. He's looked like he's got potential to like take a step forward, I guess, now that he's got the reins in Green Bay, but Yeah, I don't know. That defense is really, really fucking good. Jamal Williams being out. So you're banking on Kendre Miller being back. He's going to have to.
Yeah, I mean,
Because they got guys on that D-line. That's what worries me. Life's fucking tough when you don't have a run game.
yeah.
Jamal Williams is out. I understand Tony Jones Jr. scored 2 touchdowns, and everybody's like, yeah, he looked great. He averaged 2 yards a rush. So Taysom Hill was our most dynamic rusher. So, and that's great to have because he'll still be there. Maybe next time, fucking when you roll him out, just fucking dink and dunk it right over to Carr, who's wide open. He had his hand up. He was throwing his hand up. He wanted the ball. Kendre Miller's got to come back, in my opinion. I think signs. I was reading signs are pointing to that he probably will. But that'll be a huge help because they've got Gary, they've got do they have Kenny Clark? They've got number 7, the dude from Georgia,
Quay Walker.
Quay Walker. They've got guys.
They gave up a shitload of rushing yards to the Falcons.
Yeah.
No, they did.
Yeah.
These are just my worries about it. If the offensive line is fucking struggling, and I don't know, we'll see. We should, because I agree. I've been saying the same thing, that the offense is right there. The red zone chemistry and all of that is certainly going to come. We've been doing a decent job of moving it to the red zone. Then we're just stalling out once we get there. And the emergence of Chris Olave which we said it was going to happen, one of the best wide receivers in the league. So that catch was insane. But Shaheed, to have him as your
we
third
might have
option,
the best wide receiver room.
Yeah, Michael Thomas is all the way back. That catch on the sideline was sick, but he's making contested catches, taking shots, doing what he does best. Olave gives you that can-do-it-all dynamic factor, best route runner on the team. Well, I guess, I don't know, Michael Thomas is pretty goddamn good too. But then you have Shaheed to take the top off. We need to take more deep shots, I think, because Jair Alexander is going to be on one of the other 2 guys.
Yeah.
So there will be opportunities to take the deep shots. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't take the Packers, but I just have worries. I just want to see it. It's like I'm just kind of like shell-shocked from the previous years. I just want to see it. I am going to take the Vikings in a pick 'em at home. The battle of the 0-2 teams, the Vikings were one of the best teams in football on paper, record-wise last year. We were very skeptical, and that came to be true when it came down to postseason football. Chargers and Vikings are both 0-2. You've got the highest paid quarterback in Justin Herbert. You've got the Vikings at home. Weapons. Eckler, is he going to play? I don't know. I doubt it. I'm leaning towards no from what I've read. Josh Kelly didn't look good in limited opportunity. I mean, he had 13 carries, but I want to say he had like 2-something yards per carry. The Chargers are struggling. Justin Herbert is one of those. He's got weapons. He's a good quarterback. Never going to be a elite quarterback. I've said it. I said it the second they drafted him. He's Phillip Rivers, and not just because he's on the Chargers. This is a must-win for both of these teams, and the Vikings being at home. Justin Jefferson's the best receiver in football. He's been starting off strong and fading away in the games. I think we see that change here. I think it's a high-scoring game. I almost took the over. Indoors on turf. I'm going to take the Vikings, though. I think this is a must-win for the Vikings. So, Vikings in a pick 'em. Joseph, what's your first one?
I'm sorry, bro.
You can take the Charger.
No, I'm going Vikings as well.
Oh, fuck.
That's why I said I'm sorry. I hate to put the 0-7 curse on you, but I think the same way that you do on this game. I like the Vikings as well.
It's a must-win.
Yeah. I mean, it's a must-win for both, but
it's hard to go on the road.
Right.
So,
no, they have a good crowd, too.
Yeah, definitely.
Minnesota always does, so.
Yeah, I mean, if it was a home game for the Chargers, I'd still probably take the Vikings because they don't have a fucking home crowd.
Yeah, it's sort of like 3 teams over there. It's like all their home crowd.
I don't think I'm going to take it, but what are your thoughts on Patriots-Jets? Are you on it?
No.
Are you on it?
No, but I would only take the under.
Do you know how many times in years past that I have bet Zach Wilson and the Jets versus the Patriots? Too many. And I'm not going to take it, but I really want to take New England. Zach Wilson against New England, 0-4, 2 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Bill Belichick has his number. He's got him in purgatory. So, I mean, there might be 10 points scored in this game. So, I really want to take the Patriots because of, but it's like this is a game where both sides lean on the running backs. Breece Hall's definitely going to get more carries. He was pissed that he only got 4, understandably. But then you've got Ramondre Stevenson. You've got guys, Zeke. You've got guys that the Patriots can lean on. It's going to be an ugly game, a defensive battle for sure, I would think. But Zach Wilson has struggled every single time that he's played the Patriots. And Bill Belichick's so good at defense. What he did against Miami, he kind of laid the blueprint for how to stop Miami. Just keeping which I guess it's not rocket science. It's easier said than done. But the way that he just tried to contain and keep everything underneath with Tyreek and Waddle, they were non-existent for a large portion of that game. Mm-hmm. So just his ability to scheme things up. And Zach Wilson fucking sucks. Zach Wilson sucks. It's wild how bad he sucks. I'm not going to do it, but I was hoping one of y'all would be on it, and then I would consider it. But that's all I got. I mean, I mean, obviously I have my lock of the week, but am I crazy for thinking that it looks like there might be some sharp money on the Jets? Why?
I don't know.
He's 0-4, 2 touchdowns, 7 picks. One game, I think he had no touchdowns. I think he had 4 interceptions.
Are they home?
Yeah, Jets are home.
Okay.
All right. Well, all we have left are locks?
No, I got 2 more.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
And then my lock. Dallas Cowboys at Arizona Cardinals. We touched on Dallas's defense. Again, one of the best, the elite defenses in the NFL. And their offense is it's definitely capable of putting up a lot of points, but I don't think they'll put up so many this game that it hits the over. So I'm going to go to the under 43 in this game. I don't see Arizona putting up many points at all this game. So kind of banking on that Dallas defense here.
Okay. What's your other one then before you lock?
Real quick, I'm going to go to a home dog, the Eagles at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going to take 5.5 points with the Bucs.
Eagles. Okay, Bucs are at home getting 5.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Best bets of the week.
It's a lock. Kramer, you've had this thing under control for almost 3 years now. But it's a lock.
They need that fucking juice. They need that next bet. They need. Come on. Yes! When they win, they go fucking crazy.
Falcons at Lions. Lions are 3-point favorites. The Falcons have the 4th-ranked rush offense, averaging 170.5 rushing yards per game. Detroit has the 4th-ranked total offense in terms of yards per play. Both of these defenses are a little shaky, even though there's not much to like about the Falcons' offense other than Bijan Robinson. I still think it's enough here to score points, and then with the absence of Montgomery, I think this might be a good thing for the Lions offense, getting Jahmyr Gibbs involved. I think we see the rookie running backs kind of have a field day here. I'm going over 46 points here for my lock of the week.
I like it a lot. I thought you were going to take the Falcons, and I was about to tell you. I'm not going to do it, though. I wanted to take the Falcons bad. Amon-Ra St. Brown is banged up, though, but I do think with or without him, I think they're going to put points on the board. I was looking at that as well. I hope you're right because I have both of those guys in fantasy. Yeah. So I hope the rookie running backs go crazy. My lock of the week, I am going to go right back to him. Jacksonville Jaguars minus 9.5 at home versus the Texans. The Texans are really bad. They're not good at football. They just lost to the Colts. I think Richardson got banged up again. They lost 31-20 to the Colts, one of the worst teams in football as well. They lost 25-9 to Baltimore. Going on the road against Jacksonville, where you just saw a really rough showing on offense, but a good showing on defense. That defense is going to still be there. I expect Trevor Lawrence and the weapons to get it going, score some points. Jacksonville, I'm taking Jacksonville big, minus 9.5, lock of the week. Joseph, what's yours?
Dude. Gotta do it to you again.
Taking the over in the Lions and Falcons.
No, Jacksonville. Minus 9.5. You just touched on it. I agree with what you said, and this is, to me, a good spot for the Jags to get back on track, Trevor Lawrence to get back on track, stop throwing the balls out of the end zone and over his receivers with that cushy defense that the Texans have. This is a young Texans team, and I think Jacksonville will make some plays on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to take the step forward like we thought, it's got to start now.
Right.
So you got to it's going to be much easier to put points on the board against this Houston defense than it is against the Chiefs. So you got to do it. It's got to happen right now, or else it's not going to happen at all. So to recap, I am taking the Giants +10 on Thursday night, Vikings in a pick'em at home, and my lock of the week is the Jaguars -9.5.
I'm taking the Giants +7. First half, I'm taking the Saints +2. And for my lock of the week, going to Falcons at Lions over 46.
Okay.
Thursday night, I'm going to take the under 44.5 in the Giants 49ers. I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings with a pick'em. Take the under 43 in the Dallas Cowboys Cardinals game. I'm going to take the Bucks +5.5. And for my lock of the week, I'm going to go Jags -9.5.
I pray to God you get your first win this week, because if you don't, it means it's going to be a bad week for me too.
We're on 2, right?
Yes. Now, yeah, I think this is the bounce back week of bounce back
I
weeks.
really
so,
hope, man. I really hope.
That's all I got. You got anything to say before we go?
No, not really.
You got anything to say before we go?
Yeah, I hope it is the bounce back week.
Yeah, I think it's got to be. So, all right, episode 163 is in the books. Hit subscribe everywhere. It's not often that you get a consensus lock in college football between Nick and myself, but you got one this week. We're about to get them. It was a rough week. It was right there. Consensus week in NFL too, but I mean, NFL's been rough.
on, bro.
NFL's been rough. Nobody really should give a shit, to be quite honest, until we prove otherwise in the NFL. It was a rough week last week. We're going to get them this week. I have high hopes, but I have an uncanny ability to get high hopes every single week. I lose all my bets, and I'm thinking I'm winning them all the next week, but this week it's actually going to happen.
I'm not jerking off.
Okay.
And I'm going undefeated because of it.
You swear?
Yeah.
All right, you heard it here first. If that's the trick, you got to do what you got to do to win bets. Whoa. And hey, we'll do anything over here. Y'all have a good one. Who dat?
The house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes. The house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house. I've been practicing this, a little bit. Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed. That was good. I liked it.